And we are back here at Sciota High School. Well, this is a special presentation of a TSSR Game Time Live, bringing you 7th grade regional action today as we've got the South Fulton Rebels and the North Fulton Wildcats going on here. As we thank you for joining us here this afternoon, I want to thank some of our very fine sponsors like JoJo's Gaming Parlor, offering the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out TSSR Game Time Live events on the big screen. Stop by JoJo's 776 North Cole Street, Bushnell. And again, this is the 7th grade at 2A Regional. And in case you're wondering why everything got moved up, Nauvoo unfortunately had to forfeit their first round game, so they just went ahead and moved everything up. Speaking of that, we'll be here for game 1, game 2, and then we will have the high school game at 2 o'clock this afternoon here. So a full day of sports once again on TSSR Game Time Live. Wildcats bring it in from the sideline. Henry Ford, not that Henry Ford. I guess it could be a clone, I suppose, if you really want to get science fiction-y. Hillier with it out top. Bumped a little and then brought back over as he wheels down low. 13-4 lead right now for South Fulton. And Chenoweth going to commit a personal foul there. Or actually, that's Jonah Miller. It is Jonah Miller, Weston Chenoweth, joined by Owen Heights, Bobby Welch, and Kyler Clemens. Free throw a little bit short. And on the floor is Henry Ford, joined by Seth McClure, Ethan Lucas, Cash Babcock, and at the free throw line, Connor Hillier. Hillier missed the first, 13-4. Rebels with the lead here. It'll be West Prairie taking on the Bushnell-Prairie City Spartans. So he makes one, cuts the lead down to 8 for South Fulton. Woman used that bell in the crowd, and Dwayne and I looked up because we both thought it was the dinner bell. They bring it over to Clemens. Clemens working around 2-3 zone, put on here by North Fulton. The pass comes up to Welch. Thinks the three. Pulls it down, looks in at Morgan Fogelsong. He'll pop the shot, no good. And rebound snapped up by North Fulton here as the Wildcats come across the line here. Man on man put on by South Fulton. Steal by Miller, and he'll take it up the floor. Fires to Chenoweth. Shot is up and good. It is 15-5 now. And South Fulton is the second seed. North Fulton. Foul on Kyler Clemens. And no pressure here in the backcourt. Trigger in, coming up the sideline, spin, turn, flip over for Hillier. Down in the corner, having a little trouble getting a hold of it to Babcock. Babcock back out to Miller, or Hillier rather. And we've got a bump from Chenoweth. Chenoweth will go out, as coming in will be Colby Martin. Like I said again, bringing you a bonus coverage here of this 7th grade regional, hosted by West Prairie. Here at Sciota. Up it comes to Welch. Welch going to kick it back out, and they'll work it. Set themselves in for the offense. Fogelsong goes to work. So he'll dribble out of there. Swinging around the outside, then in the lane to Miller. Nice load in for inside. Very patient offense. Worked the zone back and forth, and just dropped it in. And now running on the way is Heights. Or actually, that is McClure. And thrown away in the corner. That'll bring it back over to South Fulton. 17-5, they lead here. 4 and change left in the first half of play. It is, of course, 6-minute quarters. Swings it out for Clemens. Wants to come back, gives to Fogelsong. Fogelsong in the pass. They're watching kind of in a double post set. And now swinging the lane. Nope. Little bit of travel there by Martin. You got to put the basketball on the floor. North Fulton with the inbounds. Hillier on the run up the court. As Babcock head didn't get him. Comes into the lane, turns, shoots, shot. Fadeaway, no good. Rebound snapped up by Welch of South Fulton. Welch juices the pass up to Miller, who then gets it to Martin, who puts it up and in on the rebound. 19-5 lead for South Fulton. As North Fulton works it across here, Miller. I guess the Fulton County fight here today. Actually, it sounds better, Fulton County fracas. That sounds much, that would sell t-shirts. That's two. Inbounds on the way with the three in. Good as Ford. Ford manufactured a three there and then cuts it down to 19-8. Clemens works it out top. We're going to post to Martin. Now down to Miller. He'll put it up and in. And the post play's been pretty good from Miller. And I see Sam DeCounter and Jeff Copeland watching very, anxiously as they're got their team here. They'll be on the floor next. Shot up by Welch. No good. Rebound. Babcock had it. Tipped around. Martin tied up now under the basket. And that's a 21-8 lead here for South Fulton. 2:40 left to go in the second quarter. Coming back into the game, Owen Heights. He'll replace Welch. They'll look to throw it in. Wait. Outside shot is up. It is short. And Martin doing a great job there on the boards here so far. As Hillier will trigger in against pressure from South Fulton. Up to McClure. And now across the timeline and working it down is Ford. And lost the handle on it, and then South Fulton traveled. So North Fulton will get it back here. North Fulton needing to do some work on the scoreboard. Trigger it in, having trouble. Looked like they wanted the lob to Babcock. Tried to get it into Ford, but tapped right back out of bounds by Fogelsong. And now Lucas will trigger. Inside to Babcock, goes up. Ball tapped away, and South Fulton will come out of there with it. Fogelsong dribbling across the timeline. 3-2 zone now. Kind of went more from like 3-2 to 2-3, and may even be kind of a box and one because I see Ford's going everywhere. Babcock block underneath. Got another one. And now a foul underneath. Nice job by Kyler Clemens. Kyler Clemens. Kind of a family affair. I'm on play-by-play. Will is on camera and doing a fine job. And Dwayne is manning the controls. I was going to say he's just sitting here, but he's manning the controls.
I am just sitting here. I didn't I apologize.
If you're going to apologize, put that on. Second, missed them both. Rebound, though, chased down by Fogelsong in the corner. Inside to Miller, up and good. Jonah Miller's been a wrecking crew inside there. They lob in. He steals that pass. Ooh, and a kind of a collision there. They're going to say Miller traveled. And South Fulton really bringing the aggression on a Saturday morning. And I'll tell you what, folks, for kids, it is hard. You're always in that routine and going to school, then playing your ball games. These Saturday games are tough. They're just completely out of routine. Hillier bringing it up to the right corner, turns. Throws it out to Ford, and it is tapped out of bounds. As they will trigger it inbounds here. Into Ford. Down the sideline, or down the far side lane goes Lucas. Shot no good. Rebound snapped up by Chenoweth. And he'll work it out of there. Chenoweth off to Fogelsong, who just walks it up here. Minute 18 and counting here in this second quarter. Chenoweth, nice backdoor cut underneath there, but blocked. Miller got the rebound and put it up and in. They bring it in to Ford. North Fulton's going back the other way. A little more of a hurry than he needed to be. Fogelsong gets the tip pass and pulled out of there, and with it comes Chenoweth and now Fogelsong. They're going to set up the offense here for Coach Dillon at Cantu and the South Fulton Rebels. Drives in, shot is up, no good. A little bit of a bump in there, and Clemens couldn't get the shot to go. Ball will be out of bounds over to North Fulton. North Fulton. If I say Fulton, it's going to cover it either way. But Hillier into Ford. Ford away from the double team to Hillier. And now he's got a 3-on-2 fast break. Throws it up for Babcock, who turns, puts it up, can't get it to go. Got the rebound, puts it up, misses it. And Miller down at the rebound. Lobs the long touchdown pass out to Heights, who puts it up, in and good. 27-8. 20 seconds left to go in this first half. A nice job there by Miller. Just took the pass away from Ford. Looking to trigger in for North Fulton's Lucas. Lucas driving on Miller. Skids to a stop to Hillier. He'll shoot, won't go. Rebound fought for. Babcock has it. Tip. And we got a jump ball. Miller being really aggressive in there. 5.5 seconds. And we're going to have a full timeout called here. 5.5 seconds left to go in the quarter. Let's take this timeout on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I thought about the staff of MDH. They're all good. And you will get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
And South Fulton will bring it in here. They've got 5.5 seconds left to go in this first half, up by 19 here. As they continue to work. And Ford's going to apply a little pressure so they don't just roll the ball. And now they call a timeout with 1.8. Some coaches take this awfully seriously, folks. They do, with 1.8 seconds left. So if you figure that's going to leave him 3 timeouts for the rest of the game. I said, again, 19-point lead here for South Fulton. As they set it up. NBA Finals level here. As they'll bring it in from half court. Babcock going to be a big arrow to Miller. Miller, line drive shot, no good. And at the end of one half of play, it is 27-8 in favor of South Fulton over North Fulton here in this Class 2A West Prairie Regional. Let's take this time out on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
Well, I've always had an interest in the medical field, and then growing up, I actually went through physical therapy myself for an injury, and that got me back to playing my sports and the activities that I loved. So seeing that firsthand, I got to see how much physical therapy could really benefit others.
I see acute injuries on the field. I see ankle sprains. I see ACL knee injuries, as well as in the clinic. It's very rewarding to see them from on-the-field injury to rehab to transition back to their event.
All right, welcome back. We're here now with Wanda Foster, the Vice President of Nursing and Clinical Administration. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Well, what we're going to talk about today is some of the opportunities that are available at MDH for students, whether they be high school students, Spoon River College students, or Western students. MDH has a lot of opportunities to be involved and to learn, right?
We absolutely do. And we look so forward to having students here. We are a clinical site for Western Illinois University and their bachelor's program for nursing, as well as for Spoon River College nursing students and others that are doing some independent study. We welcome students, and we also encourage high school students. If you would like to learn more about nursing, we would love to meet with you. And there are opportunities at the hospital also where they can apply for jobs here, for positions. So we work closely with our nursing students, and we hope to recruit them and attract them and want to come back.
I know that publicly there's been a shortcoming or a shortage of nurses, right? And I know that every hospital and every nursing home and every clinical place period is searching for nurses. So how important is it for MDH to have these groups work with them, whether it be MDH or be Spoon River College or whatever the case may be? How important is it for MDH to then recruit those nurses to stay here and work as a profession?
It's very important. We want nursing students to feel very comfortable here, to enjoy their clinical experience and their opportunities here. And then we want them to feel very comfortable, to give them a good orientation. We hire new graduates, of course, into our acute care area as well as the intensive care unit. We hire new graduates in the emergency room, in home health and hospice, in our OB department, and our surgery department. These are all areas that new graduates can come into. We certainly give them a robust orientation. No one starts on their own until they feel completely ready. They have a mentor certainly with them, and we want to give them the best start for success that we can. And then there are many areas of specialty they can choose to go into. Nursing is a very unique field. You can work full-time, you can work part-time if you need to take time off for some reason. It's a field that you can kind of step into a little bit more than maybe some other fields in healthcare. We also have scholarships available through our auxiliary, through the hospital, and then once someone is an employee here, we do have some tuition reimbursement. So we will certainly help with that.
And going back to the scholarships and the shortages that are across the board, not necessarily at MDH, but
everywhere,
right? So everywhere. This is a profession that you can make a good living at and be pretty sure to have a job, right? So
absolutely.
This is a profession that high schoolers that are playing these sporting events or high schoolers that are watching these sporting events should consider, I would imagine.
Yes, very much so. You will always be assured to have a job, a career in nursing. I hate to call it just a job because you really want someone on that career path who has that passion for caring for people, for providing nursing care. Through your education and through your orientation, we can teach you your skill set. But if you have that passion and the desire to be in the nursing profession, you will do fine.
Yeah, a career and a job, while they might be listed as the same thing, they're really not, correct? I mean, if your career is being a nurse, you're probably going to enjoy it a lot more than if it's a job, right?
That's right. And you don't go into it first and foremost for the money. You go into it because that's what you want to do with your life, and the money certainly will follow.
Yeah, and that goes for anything probably,
yes.
But the nice thing is right now, whether the money's good or bad, there's always going to be a job.
There will.
If you can get through the schooling and you can learn to love what you're doing, there's always going to be a job for you, right?
And it's not something for high school graduates exclusively. We have many people who have made changes midlife. We have people who have retired from their career in one thing and have chosen to go into nursing. So it's open for any age, and we certainly welcome that.
And you mentioned there's different areas of expertise for nurses. People think of that for doctors, but it's really that same way for nurses, right? I mean, you can be a surgical nurse and really become a great surgical nurse, or you can become a great ICU nurse, or you can do all those things.
Yes.
But if you really want to focus on something, or be at OB, which you guys have a great OB department here, if that's what you want your focus to be and you really love working with expected and new mothers and young babies, you can do that, right?
You can do that. We also have positions in our MDH physician clinic practices as well. And if you are in nursing and you can choose to specialize in a certain department, you can choose to go on and be a director or a clinical care coordinator. You can go back to school and become a nurse practitioner, become a certified registered nurse anesthetist. You can go many different directions and really as high as to whatever extent in your education you would like to pursue.
Well, Wanda, thanks for coming and talking to us. We greatly appreciate it. I know that there's probably places, specific places within MDH that they can reach out to, correct? Is there somewhere that they need to call if they're interested?
I would call
in
our human resource department and start there, and then they can help direct and guide you. They can tell you about openings that we currently have. Everything, all of our current positions are listed on our MDH website, www.mdh.org. But certainly any positions for high school students, if they would like to start somewhere within the organization or volunteer experience, reach out to Human Resources and they can help direct you.
Well, again, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I thought about the staff of MDH, they're all good. And you will get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
Well, I've always had an interest in the medical field, and then growing up, I actually went through physical therapy myself for an injury, and that got me back to playing my sports and the activities that I loved. So seeing that firsthand, I got to see how much physical therapy could really benefit others.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
I see acute injuries on the field. I see ankle sprains. I see ACL knee injuries, as well as in the clinic. It's very rewarding to see them from on-the-field injury to rehab to transition back to their event.
Welcome back here to Sciota, South Fulton, North Fulton coming on here. See, this is why I need you, because I can't. So there are days I can't hardly talk.
South Fulton is on the court ready to play, and North Fulton is just coming out of the locker room.
Yep, that was kind of a. They were having deep philosophical discussions.
Yeah, I'm sure they were. I remember in 7th grade when I played basketball, I don't remember a single deep philosophical discussion, though.
Well, it could be also, as I introduced the other night, I was proud of myself, as you can hear. The coaches were recalibrating their biorhythms, which means chewing their rear ends, basically.
Can you spell that?
Yeah, I can. Biorhythms is easy. Recalibrating might be a little tough. Remember, we were broadcasting majors, not spelling majors.
That's saying we'd major in anything.
Yeah. As Welch driving to the hole, shoots out. And Miller, I'm telling you, Dwayne, he has been super aggressive. Really impressed with him.
Yeah, he's got good ball handling skills for a bigger 7th grader. I mean, most of the time when you see kids that size at 7th grade level, they don't handle the ball real well, but he does a pretty good job handling the basketball and shooting both.
Hillier in, gets it Babcock, can't get it to go. And South Fulton here has been up by 21 now. Here's 5.5 left to go here. They've pressured a lot, and that's really bothered North Fulton. So far, folks, will also bring you the West Prairie taking on Bushnell-Prairie City matchup. Was it you call it the Route 9 rivalry?
Yeah, except not on the high school level, on the junior high level this time. We had it on the high school level beginning of the week.
Yep, and now coming here for the 7th grade level. And for those wondering again why this was moved up, why this game has been moved up, Nauvoo Calusa had to forfeit, I assume sickness or some other thing. I know they only had 6.
It probably was sickness or some other thing. You're
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't want to say the dreaded C word.
Oh.
The COVIDs. But it
I don't know.
could be. With 6 guys, you never know, and so
it doesn't take very many missing if you only have 6 guys to make it so you can't play.
And so they had to forfeit. So LaHarpe Dallas City got to move on as Miller misses that one. So it'll be Stronghurst West Central taking on LaHarpe Dallas City. That'll be Monday night at 5 p.m. And then the winner of this one and the winner of West Prairie and Bushnell will follow. And if you watch this game very long, you notice just more aggression from the South Fulton team. Just a lot more aggression, period.
A lot of that has to do with confidence, right? I mean, when you think you're good, you're more aggressive. When you think you have to do things exactly right or you're not as good as somebody, you become more passive more often than not. And that's kind of, I think, what we're seeing here is I think that South Fulton has just come to believe that they're better than the teams they're playing, and they play that way.
Well, and I think factors in as well. Like I said, Miller is really hyper-aggressive, and sometimes you can see one kid can make their teammates that much more aggressive. I mean, they kind of follow his example.
There's a basket that we were talking and not watching. I apologize.
There's Welch, I believe, that dropped that home. And now Henry Ford dribbles it down here. I'm going to say both his names because I read that and I got a small chuckle out of that. Kyler Clemens going to drop it off to Welch, and South Fulton's blown this wide open, 31-8 here in this early going. Miller with it up top. Miller actually held Ford in his arms a little bit when trying to pull the ball away. Hey, that's giving extreme effort.
That's an all-out tie-up right there. Just wrap all 4 limbs around the basketball.
There you go. Now Ford to the basket, bouncing down to Babcock. Fakes, got Chenoweth in the air, couldn't make it go. Miller the rebound. And Chenoweth had a guy ahead, decided to pull it down and work it a little bit here. And they might as well.
I think I said earlier on a post that it's Havana that West Prairie plays this afternoon. It's actually North Fulton that West Prairie plays this afternoon. They play Havana on Tuesday night.
Okay.
That's the only West Prairie game we have next week, so.
Yeah, that is really weird. Where the schedule's kind of
fell apart here for 2 weeks. We were busier than heck for the 2 weeks we came back, and then these 2 weeks were kind of a lot slower, but then it gets a little busier, of course, while I'm gone.
Right. Sure. That's why, yeah. You
Did
leave
that on purpose.
You leave and dump it all on us. See how it goes. As Miller going to nice turnaround jumper. Set his shoulders, put it up. He's a nice little player.
Kobe Bryant has nothing on him.
There you go. Seen a lot of good things out of him so far, a lot of good post moves and that. And, of course, with boys at this age, you hope they really grow, but he may be able to transition to a guard if he doesn't grow.
Yeah, he looks like a kid that's going to grow, though. I don't think he's done yet.
And North Fulton doing some substitutions here, 33-8 lead for the Rebels. As coming into the ball game for North Fulton is Cole Foster. And they've pretty much kept the same 5 out there. They've had some variations of it. And I got to say, Brad Schaefer, Caleb Babcock do a really good job over there at North Fulton.
That was partially blocked.
And now here comes Hillier on the run.
Oh, nice crossover.
And surrounded there, then kicks it out to Ford. Yeah, that was a nice crossover move as he went to cut in. We've got a foul. I will say it, I honestly don't remember if Dylan Cantu's been there before or not, or if he's new for South Fulton. I normally stay on the girls' side of things, but as they trigger it in. And now Chenoweth with a steal there. On the floor, Chenoweth in the lane, puts it up, can't get it to go. Rebound pulled down. And we're going to have a foul over the back on number 22, Kyler Clemens.
Over, through, and around.
Yeah. Well, if you can't go over, go through.
Till they call it.
Calvin Gorsuch comes in. he was pleading his case to the coach about getting the foul called. He was pleading his case, and they said, no, that was a foul. Of course, I know most players will never admit that they committed the foul.
I don't remember ever fouling anybody. Well,
actually, I do, but there are reasons behind it. I may have been a touch more vicious than you were at times.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, don't look at that one. There's a couple girls at home that have that aggression. He a little more dialed in like his mother. But I want to thank some of the fine sponsors making our broadcast possible during this late part of the year, folks. I know you're going to get sick of me saying it, but our sponsors are that important to us. Please go in and say something to them. Say, hey, thank you for bringing us, junior high school sports on TSSR Game Time Live. We really appreciate that you bring them out there. Folks like Barkley Bills, a hat brand built on two staples, comfort and style, specializing in snapback trucker style caps. Check out the selection or consider customs to build your business at barkleybillsco.com. Don't let the hat rack fool you. There's always room for one more. barkleybillsco.com. Wishing good luck to all area athletes this season. M&B Furniture, Bushnell's only furniture store, mainstay in the community, offers free delivery within 40 miles for high-quality home furnishings. See them at 41 West Main Street in Bushnell or www.mnbfurnitureinc.com. And another bump block indoor foul, as that'll get a quick hook.
That might have been a bump, a block, and a foul for sure. I think you can leave the oar off on that one.
As Fogelsong commits the personal, that'll bring Martin right off the bench.
I need a concession stand.
Yes, there is.
I need to go to the concession stand.
There's caramel apples here, by the way.
Is there?
There is. That would be interesting to try to eat a caramel apple while broadcasting. That's that.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Excuse me? My teeth are stuck together.
There you go. They got a lot of neat things out there at the concession stand. Chenoweth, nice shot from the corner. 35-8 lead. With a minute and a half left in this third quarter, and North Fulton.
Do they have a running clock?
Yeah, it would be regular rules. There'll be running clock if it gets up to a 30-point lead. As down, it'll be Cole Foster. Out to Ford. He'll put it up. Can't get it to go, and the rebound. In fact, two South Fulton guys almost got it tied up. A couple more substitutions as Jeremy Keim comes in along with Case and Martin. Hillier goes to the bench, as does Ethan Lucas. As running the inbound play, Ford, a nice step back, shoots three, did hit a three in the first half. That one tipped out of bounds.
Yeah, who was that over there? I can't see the number. 23?
Yeah.
Chenoweth knocked it away from his own teammate, reached over the top of two players and knocked it away from his player, who his teammate, who had perfect rebounding position.
And Miller had just done that not too long. That's where some of the aggression, you love the aggression, but it's like, oh, you got to recognize, you got to know your guy.
Well, in his defense, there was a red between him and White, so maybe he didn't see the white.
Could be. They run another line out of bounds play, looking to bring it in. And with a nice steal there is Kessler. And back they'll come the other way. Chenoweth on the run. Miller was waving his hands, trying to get him to seam. Kick out. And shot no good. And basket dumped up and in by Kessler. Mason Kessler makes it 37-8 here. 52 seconds left to go in this third quarter. As Ford out top has a double high post set. Now they'll get a couple dribbles from Jackson Cahavas. And a foul on South Fulton.
Well, they're winning everything on the scoreboard, including fouls. They've got 6 in the quarter.
That's not always the category coaches like to see you win. I mean, it's nice to win in a category, but it's never.
Turnovers and fouls are not the ones you want to win in, though.
No, not at all. And steal on the inbounds by Kyler Clemens. He'll drive in, lay it up. Bounce that one a little hard. Miller up. He hit it a little hard. And then Martin going up gets fouled from behind. That's most likely on
Ford
Foster.
and Martin are talking. Ford's like, I'm sorry. Martin's like, that's okay.
Hey.
As they instantly started talking to each other. Smile, Ford and Martin both had smiles on their faces.
As Martin will try to tack one in. And a little bit wide to the right. We have another substitution. Checking in is Bentley Weaver.
This is a big one right here.
Yep. This could be the icing on the cake. I see the Bushnell teams made it in here. A lot of their fans starting to stream in.
He went too early.
Well, he knew he was going to be a little bit short, and you see that lean.
He was running. He wasn't just lean. He leaned from the start and ran when it was halfway there.
Well, I'll get my own rebound.
Yeah, well, you got to give him credit. He was going after it. You know, that's not fair to make him stay back there. He's the first one to know he missed it.
Exactly.
He's the farthest away. He ought to get the head start. Don't you think? I mean,
yeah,
I think that rule should be changed.
Well, it's one of those things, kind of an old, antiquated rule.
Of course, you'd have NBA players dunking from there. They'd throw it off the rim real quick and then dive up and jump up and dunk it before anybody else had a chance to do it.
Yeah, flinging off the backboard. And
look at this.
Miller, nice pass in there. He puts it up. That'll do it. That makes it 39-8 here at the end of 3 quarters of play. And South Fulton with a domination here in this first round of the regional. And this is actually the 2nd and the 7th seed. There are 7 teams in the regional, so in case you were curious, it's Bushnell-Prairie City, La Harpe, Dallas City, Nauvoo-Calusa, North Fulton, South Fulton, West Central, and West Prairie. Funny enough, pretty much similar to the girls' side of things, except you subtract Bushnell and put in A-Town was in the girls' side of things, whereas
West Central wasn't?
It was La Harpe, Dallas City.
La Harpe, Dallas City wasn't.
La Harpe, Dallas City, funny enough, is 1A in girls basketball. And that, at home saying, wait a minute, how is that possible? It is. Because you can be different classes in different sports or even in the same sport.
It has to do with the number of schools in the sport.
And
right?
Yeah, and not as many participate in girls basketball. So you get things like that. La Harpe, Dallas City was 1A, hosted their own regional in basketball. And then, of course, you put A-Town in. And funny enough, A-Town not in this regional. Miller out there.
That's a travel. Slip sliding away.
Wow. Where'd that come from?
I don't know. That's what he did. He slipped and he slid. Didn't he?
Yeah, well, I mean the singing part of it. That was.
I don't know. I don't know. It's junior high basketball.
It is.
It's a 30-point lead. It's the 4th quarter.
It is that kind of game. It is kind of slipped away, and South Fulton another steal. Martin with it, plowing his way in, puts it up, puts it in. He has come in, been pretty aggressive. And for those kids, it's going to be next step, and then we'll get the winner of Bushnell-Prairie City and West Prairie coming up next.
West Prairie's the 3rd seed.
They are the 3rd seed.
VPC is the 6th seed or 7th seed?
6th.
6th.
Yeah, North Fulton is the 7th seed. And another player coming into the game. We'll get him updated here. Hayden Alexander checks in, replacing Miller. And Miller had a great game. Also coming in, Will Belleville. They're joined out there by Mason Kessler. Also Calvin Gorsuch. And dribbling the ball up is Bentley Weaver. Good numbers for the South Fulton program.
Oh, put that up. Put that up. Darn it.
Drove in there. Yep, had a nice drive, though, and traveled on the rebound.
He might have been fouled there, too. In his defense, the travel might have not been self-inflicted.
The whistle might have been eaten on that is what you're saying.
Yeah. It might have been not a self-inflicted travel.
Nice little drive and jump shot there by Keim. And South Fulton continues to dominate the boards.
Well, they swiped that one away. I think it was they actually didn't get to had a nice look at the basket.
Just couldn't keep the handle on it.
Subs coming in for the Wildcats. You remember all these kids walk up and touch the sticky pad to take the dust off their shoes? You remember when we used to lick our fingers and wipe the dust off our shoes?
Oh, my mother used to I used to wear long white socks. My mother used to get so mad because I'd have brown stripes on my white socks where I'd rub my shoes on them. Every time, part of my free throw routine, I'd take the bottom of my shoes and on the inside of each calf, and she was so mad because it would be all dirty.
You know, you're telling people how old you are by the fact that you're saying that you wore long tube socks.
Well, and I also wore short shorts too, so visualize that quick.
I did that in junior high.
Yep. As Belleville dribbles with it, and a steal now by Cozart.
Knee-high socks and short shorts.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep. Back in the day, I'm old. Keim dribbling with it, comes down the far side, throws it up, won't get it to go. But we'll be at the free throw line with the rather garish arm sleeve. I thought at first it was just red and white, but I see there's just a little bit of blue in there.
I wonder why he's wearing an arm sleeve. You think there's a reason, or is it just because it's cool?
Not exactly sure, but I know a lot of kids do wear those nowadays.
That's literally for him a sleeve too.
Yeah.
It goes almost from wrist to armpit.
And he settles in at the free throw line and makes the first. And I gotta say, there's the dinner bell again. Dwayne and I always get excited when we think somebody's gonna feed us lunch. Especially if it's free, it's even better.
Amen. You can pass up free food.
And second one, just a little short of the. It got net, but not in the way you want.
It was nothing but net.
It was.
Just on the outside of the rim instead of inside it.
Got about 2 minutes left to go here in the ball game as Weaver brings it up to Belleville. Belleville looking in the lane, throws it into Alexander. Alexander, shot on the way.
That was pretty close, actually.
Yeah, Kessler misses it. Now out of there with it comes Kozart.
Ooh.
Two players about tripped each other.
Count it.
Yeah, throws it up and throws it in.
One South Fulton player was faster than the other one, so he pushed that one out of the way, and then neither one of them ended up getting there.
Weaver nearly has it stolen again, tied up. He'll come back the other way. As they're ready to trigger in here. So it'll be South Fulton advancing to the late game, 6:15 Monday night. They'll dribble up, lose the handle on it. Scooping it up was Keim. He slows, spins, and got a foul. Oh, traveled, okay. Official held his hand up first, and I thought, okay, foul. Then he goes for the travel.
Well, he was getting ready to put the arm up to do the travel, and the ball about hit him, so he had to bring the arm down real quick to protect himself. You know how it goes.
It is. I do. We had a fan get bopped by one the other night. Kozart in the lane.
Coach says, don't make it easy, Will.
Yep.
Will Belleville. I was more impressed with the scream that came than the foul.
Getting him out of the way. And got to give him credit there for hustling back, getting up and in there. Free throw, no good. A little hard off the back of the iron.
He's got some old school high topish kind of shoes on right now, though.
There's seems to be a trend coming back. A lot of the kids are going back with the high tops. Of course, that was a little more our era.
I had the Reebok pumps. The tongue pumped.
Couldn't stand Reebok shoes.
I did whatever I thought was cool at the moment. I didn't really care.
Nikes and Converse, which that ought to date myself too.
I had a lot of Jordans back in the day too. I never wore any Converse. I didn't like Converse.
Converse weapons, best basketball shoes I ever have. They're Converse, even as a company, is long gone, aren't they?
I don't know. Maybe.
And that's this first game in the book, 41-11, the final. South Fulton over North Fulton. So ending the Wildcat season. And again, the Rebels will advance to the 6:15 contest on Monday night. Be right back here. And, of course, we'll have West Prairie coming up taking on Bushnell-Prairie City. Again, I guess bookending our week. We started with the high school edition. Now we bookend it with the
Junior High Boys edition.
And we'll see what the host West Prairie team, if that a boost to them. Jeff Copeland and Sam DeCounter lead the crew out here. And good number of kids for Bushnell. I have really big numbers, which, folks, I talk about numbers a lot, but I'm telling you, it's an issue around the area. As you mentioned, Nauvoo Calusa couldn't compete. I saw there was another team or two that are fairly short rostered here in the 7th grade. And it seems like around the area it's kind of way up, way down, way up, way down. Either you've got a ton of them or you don't have anybody.
Roller coaster, that's how we roll.
Yep, it is.
That'll do it here.
Done.
Let's leave and we'll come back. How's that sound?
That'll work.
We'll be back in the next stream for Bushnell-Prairie City and West Prairie in IESA 7th grade Class 2A regional action, opening round for those two teams. We'll be back in the next stream. Please like and subscribe to the Hulett PubliPro LLC YouTube channel to make sure you get notifications. We'll be back in just a little bit.